there's no oxygen in space, what's pushing the planets to spin? And if nothing touches them, why don't they just stop? But here's the real kicker. Have you ever actually seen water curve and stick to a ball? Or is that just something you were told happens? Okay, so check this. We're told space is a vacuum. No air, no friction, nothing. Yet somehow the Earth is supposedly spinning at 1,000 miles per hour, hurtling through the void at 67,000 miles per hour, while the moon drags our oceans up and down twice a day. And honestly, nobody questions why the water doesn't just fly off. Nobody asks why. If gravity is so strong it can pin an entire ocean to the bottom of a spinning rock, a simple helium balloon can still float up and away like gravity forgot to check its email that morning. That's weird, right? But here's where it gets spicy. NASA tells us they lost the original moon landing tapes. The technology to get there, gone. Blueprints, destroyed. We went from, we can't go back because we destroyed the equipment, to, we're totally going back in a few years like that's a normal sentence. And we're supposed to just nod along? Now, I'm not saying I have all the answers. I'm saying the questions they told you were settled, they might not be. Think about the Coriolis effect. We're told it makes toilets flush different directions in different hemispheres. But have you tested it? Or did you just see it in a cartoon? Pilots fly planes every day. They don't adjust for 1,000-mile-per-hour spin underneath them. They just don't. The atmosphere is supposedly spinning with us, locked in perfect sync, yet clouds move any direction they want. Birds don't get thrown backward. A fly in your car hits the back window when you accelerate, but a butterfly on a spinning Earth just hangs out. Something doesn't add up. And Antarctica, the one place on Earth you're not allowed to just go. Treaty after treaty, military patrols. It's for science, they say. But what science needs a no-fly zone the size of a continent? What are they protecting or hiding? Here's the curveball they don't expect you to catch. If you shine a laser across a 20-mile lake, it doesn't dip into the water. It stays level. Surveyors build railroads and bridges without accounting for any curvature. Not an inch. Ever. They use the word flat in their manuals. Their word, not mine. But let's go deeper. The stars. Polaris hasn't moved in thousands of years, not an inch. We're spinning, wobbling, orbiting, spiraling through space at millions of miles per hour, and the North Star just chills in the same spot, century after century. Every other star makes perfect circles around it night after night, year after year. That's either the luckiest coincidence in universe history, or maybe we're not the ones moving. And eclipses. The moon is 400 times smaller than the sun, yet 400 times closer, so they look exactly the same size in our sky. Just enough to perfectly block the sun but reveal its atmosphere. That math is so neat, so tidy, so impossibly convenient that it feels designed, not random, not cosmic accident, intentional. Water finds its level, always. Pour it anywhere, any container, any temperature. It goes flat. It doesn't curve. It doesn't stick to spheres. It lays flat. So the idea that 70% of our planet is water curved, holding on to a ball by invisible force, that's not observed, that's not tested, that's told. And what's forcing rotation in a vacuum? Nothing, literally nothing. In physics class, they teach you that an object in motion stays in motion unless acted upon, but they skip the part where that only applies inside an atmosphere, with friction, with resistance. In nothingness, there's no push, no pull, no mechanism, just magic words like angular momentum that explain exactly nothing about how it started or why it continues perfectly, indefinitely without energy input. That's not science, that's storytelling. So here's what I'm actually saying. Question the story. Not because you have a better one yet, but because the one they sold you has plot holes big enough to drive a rocket through. And speaking of rockets, why do they always curve sideways after launch? Why not just go up? If space is up, why bend toward the ocean? Unless up isn't where they told you it is. The solution isn't having all the answers. It's having the courage to ask why the answers you were given feel like they were designed to stop you from asking more. Look around. Trust your senses. Water is flat. The horizon rises to eye level, whether you're on the ground or in a plane, you can see too far, way too far. Buildings that should be hidden by curve are visible with a zoom lens every single time. So watch the next video. Not because I told you what to think, but because I showed you where to look. And once you start looking, you can't unsee it. The channel's right there. Click it or don't. But if you don't, you'll always wonder what else they forgot to mention.
I am high and alive in the world. Whoever follows me will never win.